Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. I came in today to do a bit of celebrity tea. Now this tea is a follow-up to a story that I did the other day concerning the Sweetie Pie's restaurant. Now in that tea I explained that the owner, Miss Robbie, filed a lawsuit against her son Tim, who I guess is the co-owner of the restaurant. Now, since then, Tim has responded to his mother's lawsuit. Now, the lawsuit that Miss Robbie filed alleges that her son Tim stole money from her business bank account. Miss Robbie also alleges that Tim took that money and he opened 3 competing restaurants. Now, what Miss Robbie is saying is that those restaurants bear her name, but they are not part of the Sweetie Pie's franchise. Basically, this is a trademark infringement. Now, since then, Tim took to Instagram and he says that the only reason why Miss Robbie filed that lawsuit is because she is wanting to sell the restaurant and he is trying to stop that sale. Now, nowhere in Tim's Instagram post does he address Miss Robbie's allegations that he actually stole money from her. Now, after reading this story, I started thinking about what's going on here. From what I'm understanding of the Sweetie Pie's bio, meaning what they put out there about how this restaurant came to be, everything that they say says that Miss Robbie started this restaurant. Now, Tim is alleging that he helped her build this restaurant from the ground up. Now, I don't believe that that's true. I don't live in St. Louis, but the story is that Tim went to jail at the age of 17 and he spent 10 years there. And Miss Robbie opened the restaurant in the same year that he went to jail. So for those 10 years, Miss Robbie was there building up that restaurant. Now, anyone here that lives in St. Louis, if you have additional information concerning whether Tim was there from the beginning, please let me know down in the comment section. But this article that I read said that Miss Robbie had opened a previous restaurant called Wings and Things. And I guess that restaurant wasn't as prosperous and it eventually closed. And Miss Robbie moved back to St. Louis. And during this time, Miss Robbie's other son, Andre, I believe his name was found dead. He was, I believe, killed. And that happened in 1996, which is the same year that Tim went to prison. Now, during those 10 years, again, Miss Robbie was there at that restaurant building up this franchise and the Sweetie Pie's reputation. I am very troubled by this story because this is a family that is fighting. And there are problems that we may not have known about that have been going on for several years now. Now, when OWN went to Miss Robbie and Tim, I guess, to do that show, they took their family business and put it out for the world to see. There are reports as far back as 2012, 2013 that Tim was a problem then. There are reports that saying that Tim was fighting and arguing with the staff and the production crew that Oprah sent to film this show. It was so bad that OWN sent their president to the Sweetie Pie's franchise to try to restore some order so this show could continue. Now, with all this information coming out and knowing that Tim actually went to jail for armed robbery, it seems like once a thief, always a thief. Now, From what I'm understanding, again from their bio, Miss Robbie gave Tim a chance when he came out of jail. He had this business waiting for him. He walked into a franchise that was prosperous, and his mom, took him under her wing and basically taught him this restaurant business. Remember, she had done this before. Now, while Tim was there, they did open up other restaurants, and the Sweetie Pie's name began to grow. But let's not forget, this woman started this business on her own. This was her idea. Now, as parents, if we have a child that is interested in it, then we bring them on because, you think that you're going to do this business and it's going to help your family, and that's all you know. Like I said in my past video, for Tim to steal from his mother is the lowest of low things to do. I don't know what in his mind leads him to believe that he's entitled to tell Miss Robbie how to run her business. I don't know what in his mind led him to open up those 3 other restaurants. Now, a lot of my subbies said that Miss Robbie was aware. They said that the TJ's restaurants, Miss Robbie was aware of them. Now, from what the reports are saying, I don't think that we know all of the story. Miss Robbie is a very, very smart businesswoman. She would not have been able to get these restaurants to where they are today, to the point where Oprah became aware of them and wanted to do a show on them. When you watch the show, you understand that Miss Robbie is the matriarch of the family, as well as the mainstay of Sweetie Pies. This is playing out really badly. In my opinion, it makes Tim look really, really shady. It seems like that they would be able to sit down and work this out privately. Now, something that I left out in the previous video that I did, apparently Miss Robbie had asked him before she filed that lawsuit to just give her the money back that he took, and he refused. Now, he's saying that he's only doing this to try to keep Sweetie Pies open because his mother is selling it and he wants to keep it in the family. And then he had a hashtag, "Don't close Sweetie Pies." But again, if this is what Miss Robbie wants to do, and that story is true, that she's trying to sell Sweetie Pies, or she wants to sell Sweetie Pies, it seems like that they could have sat down and tried to work out something. Maybe Tim, if he had the money and he is a partner in this business, he could have bought Miss Robbie out instead of going behind her back and taking money from her. Now, maybe the problem is Tim doesn't have as much of a stake in the business to buy her out because she started it. And what I mean by that is, just say that when Tim came along, Miss Robbie owned 100% of the business. And because Tim was her son, she gave him 40% of that business. And maybe his 40% is not enough to pay her and buy her out, because of all the years she's invested in this business. What I say about this Sweetie Pie's whole drama, the entire thing, it is a mess. And I'm wondering if they're going to let this play out on the show. How are they going to go on and act like nothing is happening? Because this is a family. This is not two business partners. This is a mother and son that are in battle over this business. So I don't know. And I had stopped watching Sweetie Pies because actually, like I said in the last video, I didn't like Tim. I thought he was very disrespectful to Miss Robbie, and he did things, concerning that business without her permission and behind her back. And some of those things had escalated to the point where I was like, you know what, I can't watch this. I can't watch it. And he was moving too fast for me. And Miss Robbie has been doing this so long that a lot of his decisions were a little too much for her. And then in some of the instances, she went along with things. But there is something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. We did see Miss Robbie go to that first TJ's restaurant, and she was surprised that he named it that. So I'm just wondering what all of this is. What is it that we don't know that Tim has done? Because there has got to be something for this woman to file this lawsuit against her only living child. So with that, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be looking to this story to see how this unfolds, how this lawsuit plays out, and basically, I guess, who wins at the end. It's a very sad story, and again, I wish Miss Robbie luck, because I know that this has got to be torture for her. You guys have a great day, and thank you so much for watching the video. Bye bye now.